Okay. Okay. Well, good afternoon. Good afternoon. How you doing? How you doing? Welcome. Good evening. Well, I'm Crimson Skies. Good afternoon. I'm Crimson Skies. Sorry, I'm kind of spaced out a little, I guess. I just got off work. I mean, I chilled for a bit. I ate some food. I got a Monster Energy. Check it out. 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 Bam. 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 Okay, and here's the thing. The entire time I was at work, I'll tell you right now, I was thinking of ideas for, for APB. Well, for my kind of my game. And I need to get a whiteboard, bro. I gotta get a whiteboard. My goodness me. But let me open Unreal Engine. It's time to continue that grind. Time to finish the film. I don't work tomorrow, so I can actually kind of stay up all night. I gotta do laundry tomorrow though. I was originally planning to do it today, but then my boss switched my day off with me. So now I don't work tomorrow. I work Friday. So that means I can do laundry tomorrow. Fantastic. And today I can just work on this and just dedicate to this. And I'm gonna do this project. I'm gonna get this thing done. We're gonna open it. I'm super excited to continue what on. I was seriously like thinking about this game stuff like all fucking day today. I'm so excited. And man, so the thing that's gonna be really fascinating is when things might start getting a bit too like extreme for this little laptop. This little laptop here. Okay, that is empty, but that's because I learned control space that my world. Well, let me see where I left off. Let me pull up YouTube here. Sorry, one second. YouTube history. It was like 55:14 or something. Um, oh my gosh, I watch so much YouTube. Okay, here we go.
Now, you do not have
55:22. We'll go back to about right here.
to click on Save All. So,
Okay, and now what I need to do then is load this one. Okay, we were basically on this map. Basically right here. So let me move it over here.
before we continue, we first have to download some free assets I created for this tutorial to help us learn Unreal Engine. You can find a link to download the free assets in the description of this video.
Okay, I
The
already
reason why
downloaded it.
is because in this section, we're going to go over how we can take a texture and import that texture into Unreal Engine and use it in one of our materials.
Got it.
So to begin, I've already downloaded the assets for this tutorial.
Hey, me too, baby.
Right here, intro to Unreal 5.zip. Double click to go inside of it, and double click to go into intro Unreal 5. So I want to make sure that I do unzip some of these assets, specifically the beginner assets folder. To unzip it, simply drag it onto our desktop. We are going to go over castle assets and intro Unreal project in just a bit, but for now we don't need these. So I'm going to exit out my zip folder, and now we have a brand new folder with a bunch of assets we're going to import into Unreal Engine 5. So to begin, we're going to create a very simple material using these three textures right here. You could probably guess that Spanish pavement color handles the color of the texture, Spanish pavement roughness handles how rough the texture is, and the normal map, which is this purple texture. While it does look pretty weird, don't worry, we are going to go over what a normal map is in just a second. But for now, let's go import all three of these into Unreal Engine 5. So let's open up Content Drawer and go into My Stuff. Because you remember, we created a folder called My Stuff to hold all our assets. And I'm going to hold down my left mouse button and drag all these assets into my content drawer. So you want to make sure that your content drawer is open So you are able to drag it in, let go, and automatically these 3 textures have imported. So we'll notice that all 3 of these textures have little asterisks right there that tells us that these textures need to be saved. So select all of them and press Ctrl S, or we could have clicked on Save All. So if I double click on Spanish base color, we can see that the texture has successfully been imported into Unreal Engine.
Okay, let me just make sure that I have it. So Control Space. Oops. Control Space. I have all 3. So let's continue
5,
on.
and sRGB is turned on. For color textures, we want to make sure sRGB is turned on. For everything else, such as masks and normal maps, we want sRGB turned off. For Spanish payment,
So sRGB. I'm pretty sure we already did this, but let me just make sure. sRGB is on. We'll check the other one. Should be off. sRGB is off. And then for the third one, sRGB is off. Okay, so we are caught up. We're exactly where we need to be.
roughness, we see that's turned on. I'm going to check this to false and save it. Now for our normal map, if I double click on the normal map, Unreal is smart enough to know that this is a normal map, so it already automatically sets some of the parameters. sRGB is turned off, which is what we want, and compression setting is set to normal map. Now, if you do import a normal map and Unreal doesn't know it's a normal map, then you want to make sure that you set compression settings to normal map and sRGB turned off. So let's go create our material.
So is he going to explain what a normal map is? Or do I just need to make sure that whatever I call my normal map?
Go to materials, call this one M underscore Spanish payment. Now you do.
Okay, so we I looked away for like a half a second.
Go to materials, call be turned off. So let's go create our material by right clicking. Go to materials, call this one M underscore Spanish pavement.
Spanish pavement. Got it. Click on here, open up. We're gonna right click material M dot how did he do it? Underscore? Spanish pavement. Enter. Okay.
Now you do not have to add the M underscore in front of our name, but just for convention, I like to add M underscore over all of my materials to tell me just by quickly reading the name of the asset that this is a material. So double click to go into M underscore Spanish payment, and let's dock it up here so we can switch in between our level and our material graph. Now I'm going to press Control and Space, and I could drag in each texture individually, or I can hold down Shift and select all of them and drag in all of them at once.
I think you get the exact same thing. I think you get the exact same result, right? Is it really that big of a deal? I know he's making it seem like it is, but Control Space. The thing is, I want to kind of like follow along with him. So we'll just do what he does.
So I'm going to leave my normal map off to the side.
Because look, he still has to organize it. So why would you like almost make it seem like he did something better? So he wants it off to the side. We'll put the other two there, and we'll just put you here. Okay, just for now.
Since we are going to go over this in a bit, but let's just handle our roughness and our base color. So base color will go into, of course, base color, and roughness will go into roughness. Now,
okay, that's remarkably self-explanatory. Put you here. Base color, roughness goes into roughness. Okay.
Now we don't have to play with the metallic value because metallic by default is set to 0. Because our material is a metallic, we can leave the metallic input empty since it will just default to 0. And within material example level, let's apply.
Okay, hold up. So he applied it. We're gonna Control S to save. Just make sure I'm
Apply
caught
this
up.
brand new material to our floor. Right away.
Okay, and he just kind of drag and dropped it to the floor. So we're gonna close it then, for now. And then we're gonna drag and drop to the floor, to the floor. How fascinating.
Right away, I noticed that there are two issues with the material. Number one, our material is tiling way too much. It's too small. And number two, there is no depth. There is no shadows given by the crevices of our Spanish pavement. It's almost as if someone got wallpaper and plastered it onto the floor trying to pretend like it's real flooring. So to fix this, we use normal maps. So essentially what normal maps do is that they fake bumps. So they fake depth and they make it look like our texture actually has height when in reality it doesn't. It's just a material. So to add a normal map, it's pretty simple. As you can probably guess, we grab the normal map and simply drag it into normal. So let's press apply and immediately we'll see.
Okay, let's do that. Gonna open it up. Where's normal there? So we're gonna whoop. Kind of really realign it a little so I can visibly see it. Apply. So now, if we come back, oh, it does look a little bit more like interesting, doesn't it? Hmm. How did he do the sun thing? I forgot how the sun thing worked. No, I forgot how to do the sun. It was super cool. I wish I could remember it. Crap, I forgot.
See that our texture looks a lot better. There's actual depth, and if we come to the shadow right here and add in a basic light, we can see that as I move this light around, the material itself is casting shadow. So since the light is right here, now the crevices have a little bit of a shadow. So normal maps really go a long way to make our material look really realistic. Now let's fix our tiling because in my opinion, I think it's tiling way too much right now.
hmm
And to fix tiling, let's go into M underscore Spanish pavement and we're going to use a brand new node. So right click, type in texture coordinates. So let's grab that. Essentially
Texture coordinates, texture coordinates, texture coordinates. Okay, so we'll go over here, right click, texture coordinate.
texture coordinates will allow us to change the scale of our textures. So if we just drag it into UVs, nothing will happen. That's because we need to hold down M and left click to add in a multiply node. Or we can right click and
M, he said right click.
type in multiply. Since we are going to be multiplying the value that comes out of texture coordinates.
So he wants a multiply node. Okay, fuck. Okay, so we'll just right click and multiply it. I'm not gonna try to remember that hotkey. Multiply. We're gonna scroll in so I can actually see. And he did something funky. So let's get these actually like lined up. And then he had this bad boy connected to all three UVs. So we're gonna connect the UVs. Then he got the multiplier. So let's see what he does with the multiplier. Let's see what he does with the multiplier.
And on a side note, if you ever want to break wires, hold down Alt and left mouse button to break it. So let's move multiply up here like this. Hold down the left mouse button and drag it into A.
Okay, okay. So I guess he just did this as an example. Drag it into A.
And then drag this out into the UVs. Just like this. We can multiply.
So this gets plugged into the UVs. The multiplier gets plugged into the UVs.
Multiply this by a number, which is a constant scalar. So as you can guess, we're going to type in constant and grab one constant.
Okay. Okay. Constant. But why? Why exactly are we grabbing a constant?
So plug this into B.
Okay. So oh, I see. So this is what's gonna give the number for the multiplier. That's what I think is happening.
And let's give this a value of, instead of 1, something smaller, like 0.5. And this will increase the size
Okay. 0.5.
of our texture to make our Spanish payment bigger. And we can see immediately that it did make the texture bigger. We can maybe even make this a little bit bigger. Let's try 0.35 and press apply. And now I do like the scale of our payment. We can also add in a little bit of customization. So maybe I don't like the tint of this. I want to make our payment a little bit more red or a little bit more green. Well, I can marquee select by holding down the left mouse button anywhere in my graph, select all my nodes, move it back a bit, since we're going to be adding some nodes right here. So I'm going to hold down M and
Okay, hold on. Okay, so we're going to grab all of them and then move them back. What's up, hon? What? Key and Peele? Yeah. Were they? Which one? Never heard of it. Hmm.
left click again to add in the multiply node and drag RGB into it like
Okay, so we're adding another multiply node.
this and then drag it out into base color. I actually want this RGB to go into B, not A. So I could hold down Control and hold down my left mouse button to then grab this wire and place it into B to just
Uh-huh. Okay, so whoop, whoop.
switch it from A to B. Now I'm going to hold down 3 and left click to add in a constant 3 vector.
Okay, so constant 3 is colors. Constant 3 vector.
And I'm going to set its default value to white.
Okay, so
And plug this into A.
okay. We'll keep things as simple as possible.
So since R, G, and B are all 111, there's going to be no changes right now with the Spanish payment. But if I want to make our Spanish payment a little bit more red, instead of it being white, I'm going to move it into the red direction and press apply. We can already see a change right there. And now our Spanish payment is really red. So generally you don't want the tint to be that intense. So just a little bit red, kind of like an off-white.
Okay. So what, like right there? Apply. And then we're also gonna save.
And then press apply. Now we do have a more reddish payment. Or we can even add some greenish blue and we subtract a lot of red from our Spanish pavement, and maybe you do like the look of this better. Right now, our material looks nice, but there is one big issue, and that is it is not real time. So whenever we make a slight adjustment, we have to press apply and wait for it to compile in order to see changes in our world. And as you can imagine, if we have a really complex material and we make a slight change, the compile time can take a while. So we're able to get around this with parameters. So parameters allow us to make real-time adjustments without any compile time whatsoever. So let's jump into it to show how to use them. Before we create a parameter, we first need to create a material instance.
Oh
And
my
this
gosh.
material instance will
Let's get
hold
to
all of our
learning.
parameters. So to create a material instance is pretty easy. First, you want to find the material you want to create an instance of. In our case, it's a Spanish pavement. We already have the location open up within our content drawer, but just as a reminder, if you want to find exactly where this material is, select the object with the material on it, and within the details panel, select the little magnifying glass to jump to that location in your content drawer. So here we have m_Spanish pavement, and to create a material instance, simply right click on your material and go create material instance. Now,
Okay.
instead of
Okay, I see. So we're gonna close this one. We're gonna then open this. Create material instance. Okay.
instead of calling it m_Spanish pavement, I'm going to call it mi_Spanish pavement.
For material instance. I get it. So he's labeling things based off of how he likes to organize stuff. M for materials, MI for material instance. Got it. I mean, it's super simple. I mean, it's like super simple naming. It's a super simple naming scheme. I need to rename. Okay, so he's only really changing this to MI for material instance. Bam! Bam! Okay.
So I like to use an M to tell me that this asset is a material, and I like to use MI to tell me that this asset is a material instance. So let's
Already
double click to
ahead
go
of
into
you.
the material instance, and we'll see that we don't have any parameters right now. A parameter is essentially a setting that allows us to change our material. And that's because I need to tell Unreal exactly what settings within our material I want to make a parameter. What variables I want exposed to the material instance. So for example, if I want to make this value right here a parameter, right click and go to convert to parameter. It's that easy. Now it's going to ask for a
What? Yeah, he opened the M1, right? He opened this one, I think. Did he open? It was this one. I don't think he opened the instance. Yeah, the instance is just kind of like a ball. Okay, so we're gonna open. It was like this. Convert to parameter. Way basic.
name. Let's call this one size.
Size. Okay, we're just gonna once again follow along. Where's rename? Delete, cut, copy, duplicate, downstream, collapse, no, collapse, alignment. I just want to rename it. Oh. Okay.
And now within our material instance, we notice that there was no change because I have to press apply. And now we get a brand new parameter.
What? What? So apply. That actually took a minute, didn't it? My computer's already dying. So if we open this, I should get a parameter. Uh, uh, hmm. It should say size, right? Because that's why I named it. Light mask settings, material property. Oh, nuts, bro. Did I fuck up? Did I fuck up? What is he looking at?
Parameter within our material instance called size.
Oh my god, it's up here. Parameter. Oh. Okay, I did do it. Okay. Oh my god.
Now, before we can play with this, let's go add our material instance to our world. Since this Spanish payment is not our material instance, instead it's m underscore Spanish payment. So let's go grab our material instance and drag it on there to make it the instance and not the main material.
Okay, so he's replacing it with the instance one. Okay, so I'll go back to this. Control space, instance, drag and drop. I mean, we're not going to notice the difference because it's the exact same thing. But I guess it's now the instance. Floor instance. Okay. Okay.
Now, with our material instance opened, I'm going to check size and let's go play with this value. So I can see that as I increase it, it's all
Oh, that's nuts. Okay, hold on. Let's make sure I'm doing this right then, huh? Come over here. Check size. That's actually kind of trippy, isn't it? Cool. Let's see what he does.
updating in real time.
That's
And as I
crazy.
decrease it, I'm able to see exactly the size that I want. So trying to pick a size this way, instead of having to jump into our material, manually edit something, and then click apply and jump back, by just exposing it as a parameter for our material instance, it makes creating materials a lot easier and, in my opinion, a lot more fun. Now, we're not just limited to creating parameters for scalar values. We can even go into m underscore Spanish payment, and let's turn this color into a parameter. So call this one color tint, and
Okay. So I'm saying he's kind of walking me through, but I'm very thankful. Convert to parameter. Color underscore tint. Okay.
let's go back into material example. And we do not have anything because I forgot to press apply.
Oh my god, I did the exact same thing. Control S. Save. Okay. So if we were to go back here, global vector, we got, yeah. Hey, parameter groups. It's working.
And this color tint is available to us. So maybe I don't want it to be just kind of greenish. I just want to bring it over to, let's make it even more green like this. I can even bring down the value to make it pretty much no color, just pure black. So we can even give ourselves more control. For example, right now our normal map is doing a pretty good job, but what if we want to decrease the effect of the normal map? Or we want to make this normal map even more intense so that the shadows are more pronounced? Well, if we jump into m underscore Spanish payment, we can control the intensity of a normal map with the flatten normal node. So let's go hook up the normal map to normal right there and the result to normal. Now,
Flatten normal. Okay. Well, like I said, we're going to follow along. Flatten normal. Hook you up to here. Hook you up to here. Just kind of put you in the middle.
now it's asking for a flatness value. If I hover my mouse over it, it says the default value is 0. So I'm going to hold down 1 and left click to create a constant scalar value and hook it up right there.
Hold down 1.
Now I'm going to right click and go convert to parameter. And let's call this one normal flatness.
Okay. You are the parameter. Normal flatness. Enter. Apply. Well, great God Almighty. Control save.
Just like that. So 0 won't do anything. Press apply. Jump back into our world. And check normal flatness. 0 is its default. There are no changes. But if I increase normal flatness, our normal strength decreases because it's getting more and more flat. But if I make this value go below 0, so into the negative ranges, like -1, then we have some really intense normal maps. Maybe even, let's go -5.
Let's go test that out. Of course. Of course. Let's test that out, boy. So we should have one. Color tint, normal flatness is here. Move you this way just so I can see. Oh my gosh. That's interesting. Look at how it kind of like that. Okay.
Now this is almost like it's from a war zone. We can even add some more adjustments. So let's jump back into M_Spanish payment. And I want to control the intensity of this normal map with just a simple multiply node. So I could select this multiply, press Ctrl and D to duplicate it, or I could hold down M and left click to bring in a multiply node. And hook it up like this. Now I want to bring in...
Okay. 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 We're getting a little crazy now. But he's going to bring in something else. I'm pretty sure it's just another constant.
And a parameter scalar value for B. So I could hold down 1 and left click, then right click to convert to parameter, or a...
Yeah, he is. Just bringing out a constant. And then we're going to hook that up here. And then we're going to turn it into a parameter. Let me see what he names it first.
A shortcut is to hold down the S key and left click to create a constant parameter. And it's going to automatically ask us for a name. Call this one roughness, strength.
Roughness, strength. Convert to parameter. Roughness, strength. Okay, so we got that going now.
And plug it up like this. And this will immediately get rid of any roughness. Make it pure glossy. We don't want that. So let's go increase the strength from 0 to 1, which won't do anything by default. But this gives us the ability within...
Okay, but once again, we're going to apply. I don't care if it's glossy on mine because we're about to mess with it. Oh my gosh, that's actually kind of cool looking. But, control space. Here, he's of course going to show the roughness strength is now enabled and we can play with that. Okay, get that. Not glossy, super glossy, like mega glossy, huh? All right there. I like that. That looks cool. Let's see what he does.
Our material instance to then, let's say, increase this roughness strength to make our pavement even more rough. So maybe beforehand it was at 1. You think that this is a little bit too shiny. Well, you could just increase it and get the exact roughness amount you want. So with just a couple of controls within our parameter value, we're able to, in real time, completely change the way our material looks, which is pretty amazing.
I'm tired.
Now, I prefer the way this material looked like originally, so I can reset all the values to its default value by clicking on the arrow icon. So set that to 0, 1, 0.35, and set it back to a little bit off green. Now that we know how to create material instances, it's now time to go over master materials. Essentially, a master material is one material to rule them all. So imagine we have a single material, and from this material, a bunch of material instances are created that are very different from each other. These instances can be anything from paint, concrete, wood, pretty much anything you can imagine, and they all share the exact same master material. So I know what I just said sounded a little bit complicated, but it's best to show with an example. We've already done a lot of the work creating a master material, and it's actually m underscore Spanish payment. So we're going to turn this into a generic material from which we can create multiple materials from. So let's jump back into our map, and within the content drawer, instead of calling this m underscore Spanish payment, let's right click and go rename and call this one m underscore master material.
Rename m underscore master material. Okay. Rather interesting, but okay.
Just like that. So let's double click on it. And I want to make this master material pretty generic. So I want all my parameters to have the default values where if I didn't edit any of them, it would basically be the same as if we plugged in all three of these textures without any of those edits. So down here, normal flatness won't make any edits or changes to the normal map, which is what we want. Normal strength is right now set to 1, which will not change the roughness map or make it more rough or more shiny. Also, I noticed I misspelled strength, so let's go fix that.
Okay,
Set to
okay,
1
okay,
edits
okay.
or changes to the normal map, which is what we want. So down here, normal flatness.
Zeros. So we're gonna go through and make sure everything, I guess, is not scuffed, is what he's basically saying. So this is a 0. This is a 0, but I think he wants this one at 1. Okay.
Won't make any edits or changes to the normal map, which is what we want. Normal strength is right now set to 1, which will not change the roughness map or make it more rough or more shiny. Also, I noticed I misspelled strength, so let's go fix that. And up here, color tint isn't pure white. If it was pure white, then it wouldn't edit the base color, but it's an off green right now. So I want to make this pure white. Let's double click on this.
Make it
and
pure white.
I can do so by grabbing the saturation and bringing it all the way down like that.
Okay. We will clean up ours too. Make it pure white so it doesn't alter the thing. Understood. Understood. We're going to apply, and then I'm going to control save to ensure everything is good to go.
So now we have 1, 1, 1, and make sure your value right here is all the way up to the top like that.
Already done, baby.
Now we have pure white, which isn't making any edits to the base color. Now we are making an edit to the multiply node right here. So this is a size of 0.35, so it's going to decrease the tiling and make our texture a lot bigger than what it would be by default. So I would need to set this to its default of 1 right there.
Okay.
So let's press apply.
Good to go. 1. Right. We're going to apply again, and then control S to save. Any changes done?
And as a reminder, if I open up mi underscore Spanish payment, essentially by changing the values within the master material, in a material instance, we see size right here is 0.35. To change it to its default, all you have to do is click on the arrow like that. So for color tint, it's right now green, which is what it was originally. If I click on the arrow, now it's pure.
My God, I'm tired. Oh my goodness. You know, that monster energy didn't even fucking keep me going. I guess I'm just gonna take a nap, and then when I'm well rested, I'll do this. Oh, this guy kind of fixes that problem I had. But I mean, I worked around it. Okay, I'm actually going to stop this. I mean, I understand the concepts of everything he's going over right now, right? I get it. I understand. We're making a master mesh so we can make instances off of that master mesh and then adjust to how we need it for whatever we're trying to use that instance for. I understand. I understand. Okay, I get it. 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 Um, I'm just gonna take a nap. Quick nap. What time? What are we at? We are at I think an hour and 12 minutes. Okay. Out of 5 hours, bro. Oh, goodness, I'm so tired though. I do need a rest. I do need a rest. I am tired. And I mean, we are making progress. Control S. I just need to make sure it's saved before we close. We will save selected. Save as much as I can. But yeah, I think I'm done. I'm tired. I'm gonna sleep. Sleep. Bye. Bye. Peace.